going on, good people? Welcome to A Young Man's Perspective with Dash. You know, where each week I just give my thoughts, opinions, views on different things. Today I'm blessed to have another guest, Jalen Sanders, a local Baltimorean, you know, somebody from the home team. And he's just here. First of all, I appreciate you for sitting down with me and allowing me this opportunity to help you spread your message.
Hey, look, no doubt, man. I'm here for it, yo.
So Jalen is here. He just wants to talk about, you know, positivity and political enlightenment and how we as a generation can enlighten ourselves politically. Because, you know, we watch the news, we watch Twitter, we watch our social media. We know it's a lot going on, and the only way we can change it is to be enlightened. So, Jalen, first, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, where you from in the city and how you got to this point?
Yeah, so what's up, everybody? My name is Jalen Sanders, born and raised in Baltimore City, 25 years old. I grew up over east, so York Road, Northern Parkway. I grew up off of Linton and Marlowe. Yeah, man, it was cool. It was weird. I done went to majority of schools in the city.
East side niggas different from west side niggas?
Listen, man. Listen, if you ain't go to Chickwapin, I don't know what you was doing. I actually got put out of Chickwapin, too. So I got put out of Chickwapin, went to Cardinal Sheen, and then I went to Poly for high school.
Okay. So you big into the Poly City?
Yeah.
Is it real?
Nah, it's definitely real. And then I can't believe we lost the game last year. It was for the last time the schools get to Raven Stadium, we lost. It was phony. I mean, I was trashed out there, but it was
right.
It was phony. It was phony.
That's a real. Hey, if you ever in Baltimore around the time of the Poly City game, that's probably one of the second realest tailgates I've ever been to in my life. Yes, that's definitely something you want to come check out.
Boy, I thought I was at a college tailgate. That's how live it was. I was like, oh my God. You would have thought we was It's crazy out there. It's like a concert.
So how did growing up on the east side get you to, I guess, where you are now? Have you always been interested in politics, or was it some people in your life? Was it some experiences you had?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Growing up, it was weird. So I was kind of like a nerd growing up. Okay. So I like anime, cartoons, and stuff like that. I like video games and tech stuff. But kind of in the environment I was in, like, nah, that wasn't about to fly. So I remember I had my homeboys, Gary, Burrell, like Curly, Kane Tuck, and all them. We would all play football out back in the lot. It was really like a lot with nothing but like rocks and dirt. We were playing tackle foot, like just wilding, like playing tackle football and stuff. They taught me how to fight, taught me how to speak up for myself. Like we would literally, I never forget. We was out there, we was slap boxing one day, and it was like, "Come on, Jay." It was like, "Nah, you not gonna be no bitch, yo." Like, come on, we out here, and I used to be fat when I was a kid. So picture like a fat nerd with like the Bernie Mac afro, and then the glasses. And I'm out there, growing up. And I'm out. Sorry, no, they let me have it. But I mean, it made me tougher, and it made me demand respect from my peers, especially when the Chickwapin with like Emery and Nick and Damon, like all my old homeboys. They showed me that like, we might like the Yu-Gi-Oh and like the card stuff too, but like, nah, nigga, I will rock you if you try me. Like, nah, it ain't no it's not no difference between that. So it brought me out of my shell in a sense, but it also kind of showed me my place and where I fit in. Because I didn't necessarily resonate with all that stuff, but it's like I had to live it. Like, that's where I was from.
Okay. And then would you say, so I always had this theory that people who grow up in Baltimore, because it's a different kind of place, like we in our own, like bubble. You know how it is. Like you grow up here, and I've been places where somebody will say, "Are you from Maryland?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Baltimore." Like literally this happened to me in DC, getting a haircut, and a dude was like, "Where you from?" I was like, "Oh, I'm from Baltimore." And he said, Maryland? And I was like, "Nah, Baltimore." And he said, he looked at me again, gave me that dumb look like, "Maryland." I was like, yeah, and you know, we, like I said, we in our own bubble, and it also teaches you to have that hustle, you know what I mean? Like you kind of on guard in a sense, because everybody here has a hustle, you know, negative, positive, just whatever it is, you know, everybody has a hustle, but it teaches you, hey, I'm recognizing your hustle, because I can't let you get me before you're not going to get me in a sense. And not even that I'm trying to get you, like I may not be trying to run one over on you, but just I can't be got out here. Like you said, I can't be no bitch out here.
So like I mean with the hustle and the grind, that's one thing I would say, that people from Baltimore have an amazing drive, like men and women. Like it's all, no matter what field you're in, like you said, hair, radio, politics. It's like an amazing drive. But what I know is it's like a perpetual grinding. Like, yo, I'm always grinding. I'm always hustling. I'm always trying to eat. Like, I'm hungry out here. But it's no progress with that grind. It's like you still in the same circle you was in for 2 or 3 years. And yeah, you making your money, you moving, but it's like a lot of people don't see the bigger sense of purpose in themselves. And I mean, it's sad, man. And it's part of why I do what I want to do, because I need you. Well, not even you. Well, yeah, you, and then the people in general. I need them to see that it's always bigger than you. It's always bigger than your pockets, and it's always bigger than everything you got going on for real.
Right. Did you have a strong family structure? I know you spoke with your friends, and you know that being a tight circle. Did you have a strong family support system as well? Like, are you a middle child? Are you the oldest?
So I'm the oldest of 2. It's just me and my little sister. She's 5 years younger than me. She actually turns 21 in like a week and a half, man. So
shout out to her.
Bruh.
You about to have some real conversations with your little sister.
Nah, I've had them real conversations with her, because she went to UMBC. Well, she's going to UMBC now, the college that I graduated from. Okay. And I've had that talk with her. And some people on the yard still know, like, that's his little sister. Right. It's not game. We're not playing games with that. But my family has a strong military background. Okay. So on my mother's side, it's funny. My mother's side of the family, my grandfather, Lloyd Scott Sr., he was in the military. Okay. Then him and my grandmother, Effie Scott, had 16 kids all together. And all them 16 kids, including my mother, the majority of the men and all went into the military service as well. Yeah. So it's kind of like generations of military background passed down. Like, when you first wake up in the morning, you make your bed. Right. You don't leave out the house. Everything is clean. You iron your clothes. Right.
Morals, that structure. Would you say that structure helped you out? Oh no, definitely those values, having some integrity.
Yeah. It def kept me grounded. It kept me focused. And then you have my father's side, which is a lot of like blue collar workers that come up and graduated from college, including my father. Okay. It's funny. My father used to pick cotton when he was little. Oh wow. Because he's from North Carolina, so he was still in the mix with that, like picking cotton, going to the field, giving my grandmother the money at the end of the day, and then like him and my Uncle Ricky would split up the profit. So it's like you coming from grounded, and then strict enforcement, and then my father's stern too. So him and my mother met in the middle, and then that's like how you got me. But I was a little bit I played a little bit too much when I was little. I was a little wild child, but they like, I don't know, they did a good job. College is wild, bro.
No other way around it.
I was my freshman year at UMBC. I was dragging it completely. It's kind of like growing up in Baltimore. You always get that itching to, like, I got to get out of here. I don't want to be here. Right. The minute I got my own little bit of freedom, I wowed it. I was partying all crazy, drinking, not going to class. Like,
what made you go to UMBC?
I wanted to go. Well, I didn't want to go to Morgan at first, because when you're at Poly, you're always at Morgan because of the games and stuff like that. And then like my cousins went to Morgan. I grew up around it. It's down the street from me. Right.
It's like the hometown school.
Yeah. I didn't want to go to UMBC. I wanted to go to like Penn State and Drexel. Right. And my mother and them were like, "Nah, you gonna get this free tuition down here," because she works for the state of Maryland. Okay. So it's like I just pay a deductible for like my classes and stuff, but. Rather that than that.
I'm thinking UMBC is a JUCO, and what really blew my mind about it was these were some of the top people in our class. You know, I was top 5%, top 10% of my class. So not to be stereotypical about it, but it was the Asian dude, but he was intelligent. And another
oh no, UMBC, you must be Chinese. Like, that's one of the nicknames they give our school.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to UMBC. I'm calling her Indian. She might not have been Indian. Let me say Arab. Let me just be respectful and say Arab. Arab young lady. Another one of my black homeboys. I was like, yo, y'all too smart to be going to a JUCO. I didn't say it to them because I didn't want to be disrespectful. But in my mind, I was like, yo, why would they go to a JUCO? And then I ended up going to Bowie. And when I went to Bowie, then I was like, oh, shit, UMBC is a...
They turned up on in the March Madness finals. I didn't expect them to beat. I was like, man, when we get that nice at basketball, yo, that's crazy.
Made history. So when did you do the, typical thing, because I did it too, the drinking, the partying, all that. When did you make that transition into, all right, I'm here for a purpose. I really need to do something serious?
So the funniest thing, like one of my closest core group of friends, they used to call us top 5 on campus. So it was like top 5 littest freshmen. We would always throw all the parties. We were always like at all the events showing support, like with community service and different things like that. And because the black community at UMBC was so small, what you did had a large impact. Like you could literally see it. It was kind of a hyperbole. You could see it on a large scale, like watching it happen right in front of you. And I would always, at the end of class, I would always hang out at like Marius's room and Prosper's room, and I would see them reading, and I'm like, "Do y'all have homework?" Because growing up, you would think like, "Oh, reading ain't homework. I ain't doing that shit. Like I'm alright." Nah. Right. If it ain't a paper, nothing I gotta do. That's not homework. I'm good.
Right.
But they were reading. They were saying, "Nah, man, I'm not. We don't have any homework, but like, I'm trying to make sure I'm ahead in class to make it easier for myself."
Right. Right.
And you are who you hang around. So I started hanging around them more. I watched them, and then I'm sitting there one day. I'm on my phone. They room is quiet. They both at their desk reading. I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna holler at y'all in a little bit." Went back to my room. I started cracking open my books, taking more notes, and I didn't have the best grades growing up. Because I was a part of, like, back at Chicopin, I was a part of National Honor Society. Right. But then I started getting caught up in the dumb shit, you know, women, and not women, but little girls started doing mad stuff for attention, wanted to be a class clown. Right. I kind of lost the drive to want to do better because my grades never reflected that. And then I had some trash teachers, like just subs that would come in, they would sit there, let the whole class wild out. So when I started studying at UMBC and I started reading more and I saw my grades like gradually improving, get better, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like it feels good to see the progress, and I'm watching the progress in my class and everything like that. And it was that. And then before I joined my fraternity, one of my older frat brothers, Lay, he would tell me, he said, "Yo, you want to do what you're doing for now and you want to do it for the later." Okay. He said, so all this like quick, you hit a chick, you get this money or you get this recognition, or they like, "Oh, what's up, Jay?" He said, "How's this going to benefit you later?" Right. Put your head in the books. And I mean, I took that Baltimore drive and it perpetually carried me. And I was like, oh, it's kind of like a drug. It was like, I'm going to take this and like, damn, I like reading that, man. This is cool.
So you definitely used it to make some progress and not just to be stagnant in your own where you are. If you don't mind me asking, what fraternity are you a brother of? I hate saying member. Like, I'm a member of the military because I'm a transition. Because I'm a transition. I try to tell my neos this. So, like, whenever I introduce it, like, I'm a proud brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated because I dedicated my life to this. I'm a member of the armed forces because I won't be in the Army for the rest of my life. Right. What about you? I'm
a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Okay. So, I crossed in 2013 UMBC's chapter, Theta Chi.
That's what's up. How did that? Why KA Psi?
Again, paying homage to my dean, like my older fraternity brother. He, I don't know, man. When I first inquired about it, I had a conversation with him, and he was like, one of the biggest things that stood out, he said, "It's always enough time in the day." And I was like, what you talking about, Joe? Like, don't you got this? He said, "No. It's always enough time in the day to do what you need to do and do what you want to do." Are you going to take that time to build yourself up and be better than you were before? Right. Or you going to be on the same bullshit? And he looked at me dead. He looked at me in my divot, and I was like, yo, I've never... Well, growing up, me and my father didn't have the best relationship. And it was a while till, like, somebody like that said something to me. Like, in that sense, like, yo... Cut the crap. Like, what are you really doing? And then another one of my mentors, Chitty, he was a Sigma, but like he looked out for me too. But it's just like when my dean said that to me, I resonated with him. I was like, yo, like what did you like? What's up with this Kappa stuff that got you talking like that? What's making you so focused? And I just ever since then, after I had that conversation, I started my pursuit, and I just saw like a change within myself. I'm really big on seeing results. Right. If I don't see results within myself, or I'm doing some stuff I'm not necessarily supposed to be doing, I really don't want parts of it. But when I see that constant change, I was like, all right, that's what made me want to pursue Kappa. I can always be better than I was yesterday. Right. So
you didn't know anything about, well, let me say this. You didn't go into UMBC knowing that you wanted to be a member of Kappa Alpha Psi.
Nah, Greek life was scary. We went to, it used to be this place called Fishbowl at UMBC. And we went in there. They were having the Sigmas at our school were having an annual pajama party.
Okay.
And I was in there. Me and like my homeboys and them, Marius and Prosper and Levi, in there trash, like having it up. Girls everywhere. We lit. It's like, oh, this is jumping. And at the end of the party, they started chanting, and I was like, whoa, like what's up with this? And I'm coming from Baltimore. I never heard anything like this. So it's a group of dudes. I'm like, oh, is we all about to? We about to shoot it? Like, we about to fight? Like,
right. What's going on?
And I'm like, okay, then weird. Like, they got these weird, like, tikis on. Everybody's wearing blue and stuff. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, it was a completely different world. And then once I started asking questions and, like, learning more stuff, I learned about the D9. I learned about the different organizations. I learned what we had on campus, what we didn't have on campus, like, historical ties. So, yeah, I came in completely foreign. I'm not gonna lie, I was ignorant. I was 100% ignorant, bro.
I was too, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I telling somebody, I started school in 2006, and the Alphas did the 8506 at what was freshman orientation. But I thought that they were saying 06 because it was this was fall of
it was 2006. Like, that's what you used to do in school. Be like, yo, 06, 010, like, yo.
It was fall 2006. I was like, all right. And then I met, his name was Wayne Kaufman, went out old school. He had an office on campus in the student center. But his office was in the student center. You know, everybody hang out in the student center. And then 2, everybody was in his office. I don't know what he did. I mean, I think he was in charge of student activities or something like that. I really don't even know. But he was just so well connected and so well liked on the campus. And then I remember meeting somebody he would have become my pro fight, and they just used to let me kick it with him. Like, it was never I never felt pressured to do it.
Yeah.
It was, I expressed my interest, and they was like, hey, what you doing later? Nothing. I rolled with us to this community service, and they went and did a 5 or 10 minute step show at Bowie High School. And I was like, all right, you know what, cool, I can, my whole thing was I didn't want to sacrifice who I was to be a part of this group.
Nah, that's definitely definitely the same here, man. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna use this to enhance myself. This is not gonna make me. Like, I done seen bros in my fraternity, other fraternities. It makes them like it's kind of like they had no identity, so this is who you are. Nah, it's gonna enhance me. I'm gonna always be Jay. They never gonna be like, oh, Cap or Jalen. No. I'm always gonna be Jay.
Right.
Like, that's it. I just so happen to be a noob. Like,
right. So and that's a good point, because so I had my line brother, and you know Q to Q?
Yeah.
Q to Q and Kid 6. Shout out to Kid 6, in the mix with Kid 6 Wednesdays. We had them on the show, and we were talking about Greek life and just how certain people join organizations to, like you said, to find yourself, to find that identity. And I don't think you should let a group make you, and that's not just fraternities, because same thing can be said for sororities, the same thing could be said for people in the military, if you work for Google, Apple, because when that organization or when that group lets you down, now what are you? Or now you're so crushed because you're like, yo, I put my identity in this. And like you said, like, you don't want to be known as, like, I don't want to be known as Alpha Dash or Dash that's the Alpha. Like, I want people to know, oh, I know Dash, I know Damien. Yes, he's an Alpha, but he has also done these other things. But
the biggest thing with that is groupthink and hindsight bias are unparalleled, man.
Right.
If you put
Can you touch on that a little bit? That's deep. Can you touch on that a little bit?
So with groupthink, like you kind of said, you're in an organization, you hold true to ideas, something within that org resonates with you.
Right.
You put about 6 or 7 people that have the same ideals, that whole notion of like what we believe in starts to become, it can't be challenged. I don't want to hear anything else other. So you already have hindsight bias, because look at life as like everything you hear, everything you take in is like a filter.
Right.
So,
that's so true.
If I'm in a group of people and let's say they all like cookies, chocolate chip cookies, they think chocolate chip cookies the best, we all like cookies, ain't no other food better than cookies.
Right.
So we already got the group think notion of like, yo, we gonna stomp on anybody that don't like these cookies, we gonna handle this business. And then you have the bias that comes in. Well, somebody says, well, man, how about you eat a salad or something one day? You be like, nah, but it's all this good information about, you start to work within a circle. So once you're in that group thing.
And it's funny that you say that, because even when going back to growing up in Baltimore and you think about our dynamics, like we have a gang culture here, but it's not as big as maybe LA or New York, but ours is more neighborhood based. And the neighborhoods, like you said, the neighborhoods could be a block apart, a street over, and it's really, like you said, it's a group thing.
But that's so like growing up again, 1000 block, Linton and Marlow, like it wasn't no games, yo. Like
right.
even though based on like my parents and them put me in different environments and stuff.
Right.
Even though I wasn't as immersed in it, I was still right there. Like Tootie, Zach, Curly, King, all them. They was like, yo, 1000 block, boy. It's not no joke. And then it's funny watching people in general, because I've encountered like different people who are part of like gangs and stuff.
Right.
Yo, a lot of them grow up soft. Like you might be in worse circumstances stuff, but nobody grows up like a hard criminal. Like you might, man, I'm just bad as shit. You might have seen it. You watch people slowly don a facade, and that becomes who they are. It starts off, you could be a good kid, good grades in school. You get into one fight turn into 2 fights, 3 fights turn into 4 fights. That group think like, all right, yeah, yo, he really beating shit. Like he's not, yo, can't nobody touch him. He good.
Right.
Like, oh, he'll knock you out. You start to take all that in.
That's true.
And you start to become harder, colder, more violent, and then you start delving into other stuff, because it becomes like, all right, this is what I'm already known for. Let me keep doing it.
Right. And with that, that's a great segue into the importance of just your own self-image, knowing who you are, being comfortable with who you are in 2018 and beyond. I'm saying 2018, we in 2018 now, but just 2018 and beyond, and just knowing, who you are. I feel like, and I actually did a video about this. Please check my video out on YouTube if y'all get a chance. Visionary Presentations. It's called A Young Man's Perspective on Being Lost. And my thought is that you have a lot of young men who are lost, not just directional wise. Like, you know how it is growing up. It's okay to get to a certain point and you like, yo, I don't know what I want to do with my life. Like, that's not even a man thing. Like, that's just as an adult, we all get to a certain point and we like, yo, just direction wise, I don't know what direction I want to take my life in. But, we experience some things, we make some choices, and eventually we figure it out. But a lot of us are lost because we don't know who we are. And then we look to all these other things to tell us who we are. Like, we look to, and don't get me wrong, I like Stevie J. I like the guy. He's entertaining. He made the music I grew up to. But we look to people like him to tell us that it's okay to sit in a room and have therapy with your girlfriend, and a woman that you're stepping out on your girlfriend with. Or we look to these other people to tell us, yo, this is who I should be. I should, like you said, I should be running around smashing chicks and getting money, because that's all, like, as a man, that's what it is out here.
That's
right. I'm not gonna be no bitch, and all I'm gonna do is smash chicks and get money. And it's like, yo, you really lost. Like, that's not what life was designed for. If that like you said, that fulfills you for the moment. It doesn't sustain you.
Nah, so one of the biggest things is funny, because you just touched base on a lot of stuff that I've been thinking about, like this whole, the past 2 years or so, because it's coming up on 5 years since I graduated from UMBC.
Right.
And we all have those like 5-10 year goal checks, and I'm just revamping and revisiting myself to see, like, okay, have I met the goals I've outlined for myself? Am I moving in a upward fashion, or am I plateauing? And what you realize is, social media and a lot of stuff that's put out there in the news and on TV and everything, it has a lot heavier weight on your subconscious than you would think it does. So for the month of February, I did a cleanse. It's Black History Month. I'm like, okay, let me focus on myself versus, just the generic. Let me learn about this Black history. Let me just focus on who I am as a Black man. And I noticed it when I cut out. So what I would do was I set up rules and boundaries. I can't click on any links that they put in the group chat. I had to take all the apps off my phone.
Wow.
If I was on YouTube, I wasn't perfect. Like, I still ended up watching like anime or like some other stuff. But I always had to make sure that at least 2 to 3 of the hours that I was on there, I was watching like interviews on informational things, like motivational things, to like better myself and stay focused.
Right. Okay.
And I opened up my network in my net. So what you fail to realize is, with your phones and everything, it's an algorithm. No matter what you have, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on Twitter, the algorithm will consistently cycle things through your phone that you already like. So for instance, you ever go to Google and you're typing in something and it automatically pops up to finish your sentence?
Right.
It's working with the algorithm based on your email addresses, the networks that you've already been into, and it just filters what you see. So it'll show you more stuff that you agree with versus showing you something that might challenge your notion of thought or your opinion. And so you have people that, again, you have like the dudes to be like, yo, I'm a smash mad girls and get this money on their phones, on their computers. All this constantly being filtered to them are things that resonate with them and enhance what they already believe.
Right.
So you already lost, but you just getting further out in the sauce because you like, this has to be right because this is all that's being shown to me. And I mean, we a generation, we glued on our phones.
Right.
And even with women, image, what's popping, what's acceptable, the living my best life phase. Yeah. I'm shining, I'm glowing, the good mental health thing. It's everything that you look for out there or that comes through to you is already filtered with bias based on what you already agree with. So during that month, I was like, okay, let me culture myself. I'm going to look at stuff I don't necessarily agree with. So even in politics, you know, they be like, oh, you alt-right, you're not supposed to be conservative, all that stuff like that.
Right.
I researched that stuff. I said, is what they're saying really that bad? Is being a Republican really that bad? Or like, and in all honesty,
is it that bad?
No, it's not. It's the Democrats and Republicans have the same core values. It's just a shift in morality, meaning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Meaning their Republicans are a little bit more flexible with like, yo, we'll sacrifice, like we'll kill 5 people to save 1 million. Like their morality base just a little bit off. Like they're willing to sacrifice some stuff that would be considered not humane in order to get the job done.
Right.
Versus Democrats is kind of like, nah, guys, everybody's gonna eat. We're all at the same pace. Like we're gonna get there when we eventually get there. And just doing that and researching and culturing my mind and tailoring it to stuff like that. When I finally got back on social media, I was kind of like, yo, this shit is sick, bro. Like, the beliefs and notions being put forth, how stuff is tailored, from news headlines to what's amped in the news and stuff like. News headlines, what's amped from news networks themselves,
right?
And then what people generally believe is so far off and so skewed. It's terrible. A lot of the news isn't factual. It's just attention grabbers, clickbait.
Right.
A lot of stuff that, and I'm coming for our people right now. Mm-hmm. We have a very powerful voice, and it just baffles me how we haven't realized that we run the world. From making meme culture popular to getting Black Panther and the movies in them top grossing movies ever. The black dollar and the black thought and black intelligence really matters, but we put it towards so much
other stuff.
So much dumb shit. Like we put so much time and focus on stuff that's not important when we really have the world at our fingertips. Why do you think they care about the black vote so much in politics? Why do you think they care so much about whether or not African Americans establish their own forms of investment and revenues and businesses in their community? See, stuff like that, like even taking it back to Baltimore, for my Baltimore people, they tearing down Lexington Market.
What?
They're tearing down Lexington Market.
For real?
Yes. Catherine Pugh signed a $250,000, just approved the $250,000 construction breaking thing to tear down Lexington Market.
Wow. When are they supposed to be doing this?
2 things. I think it's starting this upcoming summer.
Little by little? Like
little by little. So they're the outline for it, if you want to look up online too, it looks like another Harbor East. Like another expensive.
Can you let people? I'm sorry. Can you just let people know?
Oh, I'm sorry. My fault.
No, you good.
So imagine if you're in DC and you see like a posh shop or something, like you ever been to? Everybody think about a very big and pizza. That's what Lexington Market is about to look like. Just a glass building, little many different shops that charge way too much for their food in there.
Right.
No historical ties, nothing. But you see how you saw that was surprising?
Yeah.
stuff like that flies under the radar all the time. All the time. You probably heard about the NRA and Donald Trump slept with this porn star and that. Stuff like that. The real stuff that has detrimental effects on the community and what's going on, it flies under the radar.
Almost a whole day's story about Donald Trump and his alleged affair with this porn star.
Why is that important? It's not.
Now, one, if I had to just sit back and think about it honestly, do I really care that he had an affair with a porn star? Not really. Do I think he should have stepped out on his wife? No, but people do it all the time. I can't really judge him. And then second of all, even him stepping out on his wife has nothing to do that the bill collector called me this morning and I don't have the money to pay. So it's like it's all a distraction. So where can we go to, like you said, just get that real information and cleanse our minds? I think we all need to do what you did and take that cleanse.
So it all starts. I mean, it's right in front of you at your fingertips. Your phone has a free news center app. All you have to do is just subscribe to the different news ones. And I wake up every morning, or it sends me an alert called a morning briefing. Okay. And it'll get me hip on everything that's going on, from pop culture, even though it's not that important, to major political moves they're doing with like legislation and passing the bills and like voting and stuff like that. But you have to be very careful about where you get your information from. So some news is a distraction. Okay. CNN will keep you hip on everything, but they'll gloss over the stuff that's not necessarily like a captivating headline or a biased title that'll get people to click and view it. Right. And I'm a millennial, 25 years old. A lot of our culture gets their information off of Twitter. So you'll see the 19K, 20K retweets because somebody said something powerful and then posted a link to a website. I'm like, bro, that's not real news, because one, no matter what you tell me, nothing serious or political or that like good for the community can ever be said in 240 characters. So you already starting off slighted, and then what you might say come from a jaded point of view, right? And then you have different filters with the algorithm on your phone. This is going to show you more jaded points of view and filter you more things. And now you're developing a biased opinion, and you have no idea how the other side is living. Like, from the Me Too movement to Donald Trump being in office, it's just so much stuff out there that's only being told from one side, and it's always three sides to every story. Their side, and then the truth. Right. And so you sign up on your phone, free apps, know the news sources you're looking at. So I keep CNN for the culture, not gonna hold you. Right. I subscribe to the Baltimore Sun, the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, and what was the last one? Let me see, because I just got an alert now. And NBC, ABC News. So I just keep those on there, and every day it just updates me. It's like I'm looking at a text message. If I see something, it'll do the briefing. It's nice bullet points, give you like the information you need to know. And if I see something like, that sounds sketchy, I'll Google it on my own. I just hold myself accountable. Okay. Because who am I if I don't fact check the information I'm bringing in myself? I can't just blindly be like, they said that has to be true. No, I'm going to run this check, and then, all right, I might agree or might disagree with what they're talking about.
We control our filters. Mm-hmm. So like you said, we have to filter the information that comes to us, and we can control our algorithm. And I had a friend of mine tell me he believes that you have to treat your mind like your body. You take in all this bad food, and it yields bad results. Obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, the things that we deal with physically. But
the funny thing is, though, the world perpetuates that through the algorithm that I was telling you. Yeah. If anybody that's listening, if you really don't want to think it's some conspiracy theory stuff, here's what you do. Go to YouTube, type in, let's say, how to do natural hair. If that's not what you usually watch, like you usually watch like documentaries on Nat Geo and stuff, right? If you click on that one video and then go back to your homepage, you'll start seeing other videos with natural hair pop up in the mix of what you already watch. It slowly filters in extra stuff based off of what you like, what you look at, what you subscribe to the most, and it puts you in a bubble. Cause I've done it before too. Like my YouTube homepage looks wild. It's just a variety of things. You got like educational stuff. You got like anime. You have debates. You have philosophy. Like my homepage looks wild, and that's how it's supposed to look. If at any time you're looking at something like you're on the gram or you're on Twitter or you're on YouTube or you're like reading news and it all looks like the same thing, like it's no variety,
right?
That's a problem.
It's all pop culture.
Yeah,
loaded,
it's a problem.
It's all. Nothing against rap music, but I get what you're saying, because I actually experienced that. I watch Skip and Shannon in the mornings, and it's entertaining. I'm a fan. And one day I clicked a video that wasn't from their official YouTube page, and now the videos from this other page keep showing up on your
daily feed. It's the algorithm, boy.
My daily feed, but. Now that you said that, it makes perfect sense. So, people, if you're listening, expand your horizon. And like we were saying earlier, you want to be comfortable in who you are. So let me ask you this: growing up, because I was interested in Yu-Gi-Oh and all that stuff too. When did you become comfortable in who Jalen was? Like, you know what, I'm gonna be Jalen regardless of where I go. Because my thing is, and my pastor said this to me yesterday, and I found it to be true. People respect authenticity. Facts. So especially growing up here, you can spot somebody that's phony a mile away, or you can see, like you said earlier,
see through
you can see through that facade. Like, yo, that's not you. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, it wasn't until recently that I got comfortable with who I am. Yo. I'm not even gonna hold you. So like I say within probably the month of February was when I really was like, yo, it's alright to just be Jay, yo. Well, not even Jay, Jalen.
Right.
Because you kind of got like two different groups of people. Like, you gotta be like, yo, they either know me as Jay, or like, yo, Jalen just be cool. And like, I'm a very reserved, quiet person to myself. I enjoy like my me time. Like I enjoy like just doing different things for me.
Right.
But if you know Jay, yo, he is the wildest nigga, bro. He be black and like not on no like negative type stuff, but like I'm always at the party. I'm always on the scene. Like might have a chick or two or something. Like, oh my God, I see him doing this, that, and the third. And honestly, donning that persona, it's exhausting. Cause then you start requiring stuff, like you start burning into your own time, your me time, and like you require stuff of yourself that you wouldn't necessarily do.
Right.
Had it not be for the social requirement that someone else has now placed on you.
Right.
So
that's true. Just
taking a step back and really being like, all right. It was funny. I was going through old videos and stuff because when the iPhone could first start record, like on the iPhone 4, recording stuff all the time, me and my friends in them, and I came across an interview me and my friends did back in 2010. And young me, this is like when I was like 18, 19, it said, yo, young Jalen said, you don't have to be everywhere to have your presence be known. And when I watched that journey, I was like, yo, I'm bugging. Like, I'm really exhausting myself going out here to every event. Yeah, I'm showing support. I'm getting my brand up, and I'm being a good friend. But it's just like, I'm overly exhausting myself. And like, yo, they always gonna know that, yo, Jay's a reliable dude. We can count on him. I don't always have to be around or in the mix.
Right.
Like, I can still handle my business or still be there, but I gotta take care of myself first. So I mean, like in February, I really got comfortable with this is who I am. I'm not 100% politically correct. I'm not gonna agree with everything you tell me. I'm gonna challenge what you tell me because I want to learn and I want you to learn. Right. I'm gonna ask you, what is your purpose? Same way I ask myself, what is my purpose? And I'm gonna ask, not even ask. I'm probably gonna say some stuff you're not gonna like. That's flat out. Right. And we just like from my friend, not like my immediate friends, but like acquaintances, people I've dated. Stuff like that. It's just like, yo, everybody's view is so skewed and like so obscure. Like, oh, I can't forgive you for XYZ you did so and so. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, that's a lot to walk around with and a lot of hurt to be carrying. Oh yeah. Or it's, how can you say that, or how can you believe that? That's not what resonates with your culture. What you're doing as an African American man. I'm like, yo, it's me though. Right. It don't have nothing to do with you. That's my perception. And we just live in a world where everybody wants to be accepted all the time, and that's
true.
impossible. You can't accept everything,
right?
Because then that means it goes back to you're lost. If you accepting everything, or you taking everything to be true, or this is one way, this is one way, and everybody has to agree with this one way,
right?
You're not being yourself,
right?
Because at one point in time, you gotta sit down and be like, yo, okay, some of this shit is wild. I have to accept something that I don't believe in.
And it's funny you say that, because we live in a world now where you got to be PC about everything, and when you're not PC, you're disrespectful.
Check your microaggressions, bro.
Yeah. And not being politically correct does not make you disrespectful. To me, the perfect example is Genuine. He did not agree with the transgender woman kissing him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't call her out of her name. He did not disrespect her. He did not belittle her. Any of that. He didn't insult her. I think he said, I do not understand. I do not agree. She went to kiss him, and he turned his head away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Genuine is homophobic, transphobic. You know, what does he have against transgender people? Nothing. I don't agree. And then second of all, because now we're talking about Me Too and rape culture, technically that was sexual assault. If she kissed that man and he did not want to be kissed, that's sexual assault.
But that's why you have to educate yourself on these matters. So like, it's taboo in the black community with the LGBTQIA plus,
right?
And talking about sexuality and your sexual identity and stuff.
Right.
We grew up. You know what time your father was on? Yo, no, don't bring none of that gay shit in my house.
Right.
But it was a lack of knowledge. And just because I learn about it, just because I make sure that I'm versed in it, and I'm being respectful. I don't have to agree with it.
Right.
But I respect everybody. If
right.
you want to be addressed by a certain pronoun or you identify as this, that's your lane. I'm not going to drag on you.
Right.
I don't have to agree with it, but I gotta respect you because I demand that same respect back.
That's true.
And even with the Me Too movement, I feel like it's a lot of issues that have been swept under the rug for so long, and now that they get in the it's kind of like a bully aspect. It's kind of like, yo, now what? I'm going to finally be able to say what I can say. Shut up, because I've been quiet for like 50, 60, 70 years.
Right.
No, nobody else going to do this to me. I'm not going to do that. And, you know, that anger and that rage is fine, but you have to channel it into the appropriate conversation.
Right.
For you to be called transphobic, to hit the Genuine thing, that means he has to have a genuine fear of people who are transgender.
Right.
Like that's what a phobia is. A phobia is a fear. And you see all these terms being slung around and thrown. I'm like, yo, y'all are really taking this out of context.
Right.
Toxic masculinity. Right. Oh, you believe men and women. Like, nah, bro, relax.
Gender roles and all that stuff. Yeah.
Calm down. Okay. Let's have a conversation about it. But it doesn't become a conversation. It becomes a shouting match and aggression. You know?
Right. That's true. So, with that being said, I know you touched on it a little bit earlier. The importance of political enlightenment for us as a people. You know, how can you just tell us a little bit, like you said, the Lexington market thing, I did not know anything about, and I know a lot of people when they find out about it, they gonna be like, yo,
they're gonna be tripping.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna speaking in the sense of Baltimore City, that Lexington market thing is going to blindside everyone if they already haven't been paying attention. And number one rule of politics, if you follow the money, you can trace why laws are made the way they're made. Money governs the entire root of our system. It shouldn't. And when you put people in office, Obama, not even one of the best president, hands down. And it's not because he's black, but it's because he stopped trying to take the financial route, and he was like, yo, we're just going to do good for the people. Right. That's it. And when you follow the money and stuff, you see why things are the way they are. So gentrification, it's all about money. Using that in conjunction with the Lexington market example. Here's what they're doing to get the already established mom and pop. That means like family owned, like self-ran business small business without a corporation. Here's how they're going to get them out of Lexington Market. And it's funny because the newspapers will only put like a small section, like really tiny in the corner, and you got to look for it.
Right.
If you're not being observant, you'll glance over it. They're going to start imposing them with fines. So I seen on there a couple Mexican restaurants inside Lexington Market have been getting fined for using styrofoam containers.
Yeah.
So you start with the little fines, then you ask the businesses, all right, well, if you want to stay here for this new development, show us your financial history. Let's see how lucrative you are, or how much you can bring to the table. They mom and pop. They might help out a couple people. They getting a couple of dollars. They don't really have no credit history or transactions to show them. Their books are not in order. They just know, yo, I make enough money to put the food here to keep this place open and clean, and enough to pay my bills at home. So you can't provide the credit history. You getting fined. You now start getting backed into a corner. You start changing your prices. Now you losing customer bases because you can't afford to keep up.
Right.
Then they hit you with the, all right, you can't afford booth rent. Your business is going under. We're going to slide you like $10,000. Get out of here. And with the cost of living consistently increasing, that $10,000 is pennies on the dollar. So now you have mom and pop businesses that's out on their ass. And then you have the newer hipster tech businesses move in with tofu squares for $18 and stuff like that. And they're making
coffee shops.
And they're making that $10,000 in 1 hour. It's systematically put in place. Sometimes, and I'm gonna be sparing with it, in urban communities. Watch where the money goes or how moves are made. It's all based around finances, and it's sick. And that's like just one of my goals as a aspiring like attorney and politician. I'm not in this for the money. It's been times where I've had like negative $10 in my bank account. Right. I can't call my mom's, my pops, like, Jay, we don't got it. Right. I'm sitting there hungry. I don't even got no noodles in the crib. I got a roof over my head, but like I'm hurt up.
Right.
I don't care about money. I care about who are you, how can I help you, how can I keep you from becoming another statistic. You have to think small and locally because essentially less is more. Donald Trump and all them didn't start off like in high political positions of power. They didn't start off getting in Senate and all that stuff. Right. They started off in their own lane, and then you segued and built up to it.
Right.
Because you notice how it's like a trickle down effect. You have the people that go up for local government positions, then state government positions, then we move into Capitol Hill.
Right.
We working. It's a slow climb, not in reverse, and that's why you have bills and laws that are being ran through or passed on the Hill. They're thinking nationwide how it helps, but when it trickles back down to the urban environments like Baltimore City, New York City, Chicago, it's systematically fucking us up because we can't keep up. Because they're not thinking how does it affect people on a local level. They're thinking how does it affect people within my line of sight. They're on the same level that I'm in. It's not natural for a black man, and it sounds terrible. It's not natural for a black man to have a doctorate behind his name. It's not natural for a black woman to own her own business or corporation. Why are you only looking from that vantage point? You have to look at it from yo down the street that has to work overnight and a 9 to 5 just to make sure his kid can afford to go to school. You have to look at it as the woman that's the not even a single mother, a woman that can't afford necessarily the cost of living that's going on. She got debt, she got bills, and she has to pick up 3 or 4 jobs just to maintain. You have to look at how it affects people on the bare level versus like the national ones.
That's sometimes, so true. And just getting back to what you were saying earlier about understanding the power of our community and our culture. Getting like you said, letting young people know. Yo, it's cool to vote. It's cool to be educated about politics because if not, things like Lexington Market will go completely over your head. And don't get it twisted. Lexington Market is probably just the beginning.
Oh no, it is.
It's probably just the beginning because there are some people who control the money. If you control the money, you control the moves. Yeah. So there are some people who control the money, who have a vision for Baltimore. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Baltimore. I want Baltimore to grow. But I don't know if I want to sacrifice a Lexington Market for Baltimore to grow.
So here's the thing. I'm on the same page with you. I don't mind growth. Change is inevitable and it's necessary.
Right.
Make sure we all can grow with each other.
Right.
Don't set it up to where now my living is messed up. because you done stacked so many bills against me. I can't survive out here with you, and that's the major problem. And I don't understand how once you start reading more, once you start paying attention more, it's not even being woke. Is all this labeling and type? No, yo. Once you start being aware of life, period, the systematic disrespect and the blatant disregard for the quality of life for other humans is so in your face. It's wild. And I mean, talking to my millennials, yo, sometimes you're going to have somebody tell you, shut the fuck up, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. Just because you can use a computer better than your parents don't mean your parents not right about what they telling you. Yeah. They done lived it.
Yeah.
I like the progressiveness. I like the talk that we're becoming more vocal, becoming more active. But you gonna be a mouthpiece or you gonna put in this work.
Right.
Like, what's up with you?
Right.
Everybody wants to talk and tweet and, I went to honestly, no disrespect, marches and protests are important.
There's
Crucial.
a lane for them.
It's a certain amount of visibility and support to show that, hey, we as a people, especially with the NRA stuff that just happened in DC, we as a people, we need to come together as a collective and push forward. But if it's no follow-up action behind it, and you're not doing anything, you're not voting, you're not learning about your local officials, you're not learning about what policies they're implementing, you're not even learning about their characteristics on a bare minimum.
Right.
What good is you? That's a party. That's a free party you just did. You just walked out there, showed support for an issue, gave the issue publicity, but you ain't do no follow-up.
That's true.
But we marched for this and we marched for Freddie Gray. Like, yeah, that's cool. Where the follow-up at, bro? What you doing?
Yeah, that's true. You have to... Mobilizing is cool, but you also have to organize. And then taking it back to the society that we're in now, because everything happens so fast, next month we're going to be marching about something else. Yeah, or next month we're going to be thinking about something else. We'll be arguing about something else. You like you say, you have to organize and you have to have that action behind you.
It's the culture of instant gratification, where if you don't see results immediately within a week's time, I don't want to do it no more because it's too hard.
Yeah.
That goes into anything. That goes into relationships. That goes into your business. That goes into your personal life. That even goes into your finances. Just because you don't see it immediately, it might take you 5 months to make a big change, but the change is going to happen regardless. Right. You have to stick with it. And another one, again, shout out to our millennials. Yo, just because it's not a photo-worthy opportunity, or you can't get some recognition about it, or you can't brag about it, doesn't mean it doesn't need to be done. You gotta really just. It's big. Everything you do is bigger than you. If you want to affect the change in politics, and that's what I told myself, I want to affect the change. Start small. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my degrees.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure I put in this necessary work, because I mean, as a black man in America, I have to build up a huge level of credibility before I even sit in a room with other people.
Right.
You do what you gotta do on the bare level. You have to remain grounded. Don't forget who you are, because and I'm gonna be honest, I used to be one of them. It's a lot of uppity niggas. They got college degrees. You think you too good for stuff no more. You lose touch. What's like? For what reason am I looking at you like you're not just as good as me? Just because you ain't do a 4-year degree and you don't got a little bit of money to your name. Like, we the same person, yo. Stay grounded. Work on a small level, and just pay attention, yo. You have to pay attention.
Definitely educate and enlighten yourself. And like you say, you can start off small. You know, my tattoo artist told me he learned calculus from YouTube. He just went to YouTube.
That's lit, bro.
It's like he's like, yo, I wanted to learn calculus. I just went on YouTube and yo, you can start small. Just with educating yourself. You can Google stuff. Like I said, I try to, for as much entertaining information I take in, I try to take in something credible. Feed your mind. Because now we're on this health kick where everybody's in the gym and everybody want to feed their body, which your body does need to be healthy, but yo, you gotta feed your mind.
Going to the gym is not doing 45 minutes of cardio and going to eat a burger afterwards. Yo, you didn't deserve it. Ladies, I'm talking to y'all too. I'm tired of fupas and leggings. Nah, bro. Fellas, look, man, I'm trying to be a sexy dad when I grow up, yo. Look, that Henny kicks in after a while, bro. That gut and them Coronas and then them happy hours. Take care of your body, fam.
Man, I was talking to my pastor yesterday because I got into a small situation drinking. Shit is crazy, man.
Gotta keep it a buck, man.
Yeah.
It's one of them nights, yo.
Yeah, I got into a small situation drinking. It's cool though. You know, I'm gonna stay faithful. I'm gonna pray. Everything gonna be alright. But we was talking about coming up in the club and you see that old dude in the club. Mm-hmm. And you like, yo, I'm not gonna be that.
I'm never gonna be that nigga. And then you turn into that nigga. And then you be like, what? Yeah.
Right. And then he told me, he said I was talking to the dude and I could just see that life had beaten him down from drinking. And for me, I ain't gonna lie, it's purely superficial. I do not want to be 50 years old and look like, yo, life just
down. Like you said, shit out you, bro. You ugly right now.
Right, like, yo, and even I heard David Banner say, yo, I had to stop drinking because the dentist said to me, I was drinking so much Hennessy that the dye was like staining my teeth and staining your gums. And then you notice, like, people go to the hospital, your liver done shut down. and you go into the hospital for your liver and they like, well, your kidney fucked up too because now your organs, your body is an organic machine. It's trying to overcompensate because your liver is fucked up.
So with that, growing up, my father had a wild man. He was a parole and probation officer for Baltimore City, and I never forget. I was in the third grade. He got attacked by a Rottweiler, and the Rottweiler like tore his finger open, like damn, his finger was hanging off. So when he went to the doctors, they had sewed it up. The infection spread to his kidney, causing kidney failure. He had undiagnosed high blood pressure that he never knew about.
Wow.
So at 30, well, like in his 30s, his whole life flipped around, yo. And like, it's wild because I love my pops to death, but it taught me I have to take care of my body.
Oh,
yo.
You got to.
At like, even so from third grade till now, no soda, no juice, none of that stuff like that. I mean, unless I'm getting trashed, I love Henny. I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I'm for the culture. Not even for the culture, bro. I think I've abused Hennessy for like 5 years, going on like 5 years now. 2014, 2013 and now. Yeah, I've abused Hennessy. Like that is my go-to.
You're in the perfect place. 1500 Radio loves Henny. Is the Henny trophy up here? Y'all see the Henny trophy up here? Like, yo, shout out to Hennessy.
Hennessy, it either puts you in some really good situations or you become one of the realest niggas off one bottle, bro. I'm not gonna hold you, but watching what my mother had to do with like the hospital appointments and the taking off and still having to maintain the whole household. My father's one of the biggest role models in my life, for everything he taught me, but also like how to live. Because when I get a wife and I have my kids, he couldn't come to my 8th grade graduation, and it was right up the street. You know how heartbreaking that is, yo. He's at Good Samaritan, I'm at Cardinal Sheen, and he's hooked up the machines now that he can't come. My graduation picture is us sitting in the hospital room. You have to take care of your body, and yo, your results are not gonna happen overnight.
It's not.
You not getting 100 likes on your gym photo is not like, come on, son. Yo, just take care of your body naturally. Never put it off.
Right. And my thing is, yo, do what works for you. Like I don't.
Exactly.
I want a 6-pack because I want a 6-pack and I want to be healthy. My whole goal, fitness wise, is I want to be able to play pickup ball or pick up football
with your son when you like 40 or 50. It's like you shouldn't be worn down like that.
Right, and be good. Yo, do what works for you. Not saying, because again, everything is monetary. So you got people out here selling these diets and this, doing all this stuff. Find what works for you. If you like to eat red meat, eat red meat. But don't eat all red meat and don't eat no vegetables.
Bro.
Like moderation, yo, everything in moderation.
Everything is going to kill you.
Right.
Honestly, the whole going straight vegan, diet, straight pescatarian, unless you grew it yourself or you raised it yourself, it's something in there that you probably shouldn't be eating.
Right.
But it's moderation. And yo, so for example, I'm not perfect. I still hit Panda Express from time to time. If I eat that, I'm not eating any more meals throughout the rest of the day. That's so much. It might be empty calories. I might feel hungry, but I just took in 2,500 calories worth of food.
Right.
I'm not going to eat anything else after that because I know my body hasn't even burned through it, even though I had a sensation of hunger, yo.
Right.
Drink water. You'd be surprised, man.
Yo, man, just educate yourself. I really feel like walking around with these smartphones, yo, you got a computer in your pocket. You can Google it, you can look it up. Like I said, if I know people that have chosen a vegan lifestyle, you know, it's a lifestyle change. It's cool. I have nothing against it. It works for you. I try it from time to time. I've never been a big meat eater, but I do enjoy steak. It could be because I enjoy the idea of, yo, I can afford a nice steak and what it looks like successfully because I enjoy success. Yeah. But at the same time, I do what works for me. Do what works for you. You know, if you, and this is to people out there, if yo, I know people that was 300 pounds. Now they down to 100, 150. It was a slow grind. It was a slow journey, but they hung in there. And you know, if like you said, if you really serious about it, you're not living your gym lifestyle through Instagram. Like, it's good. I like your picture because I know people want that affirmation and they like to see results. I'm liking a picture because I want to encourage you to do better. But you should, like you said, you shouldn't be posting a picture at the gym of you because you want me to like it. Like, no, that picture is for you, so you can document that and you can go back and look and say, yo, I really came from something. Like, I really came from this.
It also involves who you hang around and your friends.
Oh, that's so true.
Like, man. Like, you had some people that have known each other for years, and their friends have not questioned on what they did not one time.
Right.
To all my ladies that the yes bitch do that, I'm here for it. No, they don't got your best interest in mind. They want to see you. They either want to see you settle for a quality lower than what you could really do.
Right.
Or they don't want you to do better than them. And even to my fellas, yo, your homeboys, it's always like, man, that staying at home building yourself shit weak. Nah, yo, let's hit the club, let's do XYZ, let's be out, let's do it. Yo, sometimes, nah, if you don't have any friends that sit down and tell you, yo, you're bugging right now, chill out. Are you sure you want to make this decision?
Yeah.
While you at the same job for the past 6 or 7 years and you not doing nothing, but you always saying you want to do something? Yeah. What pressure are you applying to yourself? Yo, you getting a little chubby, bro. You trying to hit the gym with me, hit these stairs, we can go running, hoop or something.
Yeah.
If you don't have those people in your life to check you, question you,
and
challenge you, and want to build you up, then you doing something wrong. They be like, oh, I got mean friends. They're so mean to me. It's the difference between me being mean and me trying to help you.
Right.
If I'm mean, I'm like, hey, you dusty, man, fuck out of here. Like, nah, yo, you... It might upset you because you're not ready for me to say that to you. Right. And you wasn't ready to hear it, especially from somebody that you're close to. But I'm going to say it anyway because I know at the end of the day, your growth, our relationship, and our progressiveness is what's important.
And sometimes to progress, you're going to have to leave a couple people behind. And that
don't mean I don't love you.
Right, it's nothing wrong with that. But
you dust.
Yeah, my whole thing is always, yo, I got nothing against you, but you just on some shit that I'm not on, or you into something that I'm not into, and I can't be associated with it. It's all love. You know, we can always kick it in a mutual place, but we just going in two different directions. And sometimes I feel like your friend circle may need you to step out and just be an example. If your friends don't quietly challenge you, or they don't have you thinking, wow, where am I at
right now? Am I bugging right now?
Right. Then, like you said, you got to reevaluate the people you hang out with. My dad always told me, birds of a feather flock together, and it's so true. Crows hang with crows. Chickens hang with chickens. Chickens don't hang with crows. You know what I mean?
And now see what my pops too. I used to get so mad. I want to go outside. What you gonna do when you outside? I'm just chilling. Why you just chilling outside? Sit your ass in the house.
Yeah.
I really used to get so mad he wouldn't let me go out on the block and chill. They used to make fun of me for it too.
Right.
But your pops not gonna let you out the porch right now. Yeah, you can't go. I used to get so mad, but now I see the foresight that he had. He was like, if I let you do what you feel like doing, you will not get to where you need to be.
Right. And that's so true. Sometimes to get to where you need to be, yo, it's going to be uncomfortable. Like, I know, like, again, this whole drinking situation, I know it's going to be an uncomfortable situation. I know it is. But, you know, either one or two things going to happen. Either it's going to break me and I'm going to totally fall apart, or it's going to help build me up and take me to where I need to be. You know, sometimes maybe I needed a reality check. Maybe I needed to know. Yo, I remember 2016. Yo, I went to between Loafers, Windsor, and the Golden Dragon
getting trashed
every day. I'm talking about, and I'm talking about it be nights where I'm in Windsor because I just kind of like the atmosphere. I don't really like this music. Let me go see what the Dragon talking about. I go over to the Dragon. It's the music better. That's
$6 shrimp fried rice.
Right,
boy.
right. The food. Let me get something to eat. Yo, I'm ready to go to Loafers because I know whatever Loafers is just about to be jamming.
It's about to be a banger tonight.
So now I'm in Loafers. Now I done went to Windsor, Golden Dragon, and Loafers all in the same night. And I was like, yo, I can't be doing this. I advise everybody against it because one, it burns money. This is money I really shouldn't have been spending on things like that. And two, like you said, yo, for my health, like my physical health, drinking every day because I was still going out on the weekends, drinking like that every day, eating bad food like that every day, surrounding myself, just putting myself in that atmosphere. I never claimed to be a tough guy. I hold my own, but like you say, bottle of Hennessy.
And nigga, you feel like, yo,
right. I can take on the world.
Nigga, not you the, yo, word? Right. All right, bet. Shoot it. What's
right.
up?
You know what I mean? And whether I take an ass whooping or not, it's like, yo, like that. And
I ain't pussy.
Right. Right. You know what I mean? And what's crazy is one of my biggest fears is getting knocked out on camera. But niggas just yelling world star. But even
I'm coming to find you. You knocked me out on camera, yo. I'm gonna do the time. It's good. My career over.
Yeah.
The world done see me fighting. Ain't no job gonna hire me. It's game time, bro.
Right. Exactly. But just, yo, that just wasn't healthy for my mind. Just feed my mind and doing that. And then I had some people around me that was like,
it's funny you talk about the mind too, yo, because when you drink, stuff that you usually wouldn't do or think about doing, you act on it. Like stuff damn well, like I know damn well if I'm trashed, it's some messages I probably shouldn't send out.
Oh yeah.
It's some stuff that I shouldn't be doing. I shouldn't be lining up certain situations.
Oh yeah.
It's just funny how the mind works under inebriation, and it's good that you checking it now, and it's a generation of we're like dogs. It's like a reward. If I do something, I need a treat for this. Right. If something doesn't happen, here's my reaction to that. You know how many people might have a hard day at work, or they might be going through something. They like, damn, all right, I need a drink. Right. Or fuck it, I had a long day. Let me get this glass of wine up in me.
Right.
I was sitting. I was taking my lunch break because I work at the state's attorney's office. So I was taking my lunch break one day, and I'm just sitting in the carryout, and I hear a girl like overhear conversation between two people that were there for jury duty, a girl and a guy, and she was like, "Oh, let me find out I'm off. Like I gotta go do something. All right, I'm gonna get drunk. Like so, with your day off, everything you could possibly do throughout that entire day, you're gonna prep yourself all day long just to get drunk at the end of the night.
Yes.
It's and it doesn't help that the culture is highlighting it even more. You see more TV shows now with them experimenting with marijuana and other drugs, but then they're good, they're fine, they can do it socially, and then they go back to normal, it's no addiction.
Right.
You see the perpetuation, like even within the graduation culture on Twitter and stuff like that. It used to be, you put on a suit, you have on your Sunday's best with your cap and gown and everything like that. Now niggas is shooting money guns and having bottles of Hennessy and dragging it. Yo. I mean, if you just doing that for you and your homies, that's cool. Right. You doing it for yourself, that's cool. But it's just once you become aware, you start paying attention how everything makes its way into everything that you do. Yo.
And don't get me wrong, we're not putting this down. Yo, live.
I'm still wild.
Yeah,
bro.
like you gotta live. I live, but at the same time, everything in moderation. Please, if you going. You talking to somebody who knows. If you're going to get drunk 4 or 5 days a week, you don't really need that. Like, sit back and examine yourself. Like, why am I getting drunk 4 or 5 days a week? And it may not always be I'm trying to escape from something, my
what could
life.
I be doing better with my time?
Right. Like, it may not always be my life is so terrible, so I'm drinking my pain away. It might just really be I do not know what else to do with my time, and I've built this habit to where I fill that time with getting drunk. If you like to drink, cool, but please just do it in moderation and have somebody there that's gonna hold you accountable. Like, nah, you don't need to do that, or you don't need to do no more. And take a step back and reflect. Just be yourself. Be true to who you are. Yeah, be safe.
It's all right to fail, yo.
Yeah.
It's all right to fail. It's all right to be like, yo, I got to start again another day. Stop being so hard on we got to let go of stuff that hurt us and stuff that hinders us. It keeps us back or that we're afraid of. Like, even me, I went to law school in North Carolina. My school got shut down. A bunch of wild stuff came out. I took out like a $40,000 loan to go there. I'm trying to fight to get my money back. Mm-hmm. I'm still combating the fact that my undergraduate grades weren't that well, so that's why I'm in my master's program now, leading into me going back to law school.
Right.
One of my biggest fears right now is like, yo, what if I don't do well on the LSAT?
Right.
What if I take this test again and I did this program and I fail? And I started defeating. I mean, like, it was even recent. Like, last week, I was defeating myself. I'm like, damn, I really don't even want to look at these books because I'm like, what if I just fuck this all up, yo? Right. It's scary. It's scary, but I mean, I had to... This week, I just been more intentional with it. Yo, I set mad alarms in my phone with, yo, Jalen, you need to do this at this time. Yo, don't do that. Don't scroll aimlessly on YouTube. Don't be scrolling on your phone. Yo, pop your notes open, read that book. Are you doing practice problems every day? Just building yourself back up and combating that fear. Because on the other side of it, if I face the fear of this test, yo, my whole future ahead of me, bro. And even if I don't do well, I mean, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna kill that shit. But in the event that I don't do well, I'm gonna still have planned A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, all them lined up. Cause I mean, yo, you gotta be willing to try something and not let fear hold you back.
Definitely. This has definitely been a great conversation. Jalen, where can the people find you at? Social media, YouTube, Facebook, blogs?
My YouTube channel, where I post like interviews like this, the web series and stuff that we've been doing, is Jay Sanders, Jay space, like no underscore number, but Jay space Sanders, like Colonel Sanders. You can follow me on Instagram at The Original Made Man, all spelled properly, TheOriginalMan, all one word. And then Twitter, the J is for Justice. So capital THE, the number 4, IS, and then Justice, JUSTICE. Yeah, it's a lot of spelling, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, it's all good. This is Dash. You can find me Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, a guy named Dash, Facebook, Instagram, Visionary Presentations, YouTube, Visionary Presentations. Make sure you check me out every Wednesday right here on 1500 Radio from 6 to 7. Also, you can find me Mondays, 8 until the liquor run out, live from the shop pod. And make sure you check out 1500 Radio. Shout out to my 1500 fam. This has been a young man's perspective. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. It was that cool. Learned something today.
You welcome back anytime, man. Peace.
Anytime, deuce.
Look, the real is back, the veil is back, flow bananas here, peel this back, and what you'll find is your highness could paint a picture that's vivid enough to cure blindness. Carolina's finest, you knew that already. In terms of the greatest, I proved that already. And if you would like, I do